360 is brought to you by our supporters who make it possible for me to do what it is that I love to do, stream and be here with our amazing community. Thank you. Okay, let's see here. We're getting in gaming mode. I love games. Last week I was sick and I got to really immerse myself in games and I had a great excuse. I was sick and I haven't played so much gaming. I haven't had this much time to really game in years because my life is hectic. And so I got to like, oh man, I just dove down the rabbit hole. I played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and I was playing tons of Star Citizen and I was just in the roots, in the games. And I was having a great time. I miss it. I need to get back to it. But we cover games here on this channel. This is Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. The next Skyrim? Man, that's asking for a lot. I mean, come on, the next Skyrim. Hey, come on. It's got to be really good. The bar is really high. You're telling me this is the next Skyrim? Okay, let's check it out. Hugh says this game is certainly fun, so that's nice. I like that. When people in our live audience are saying they've played the game and they like it, I like the feedback. So let's see. Hugh is a gentleman. Hugh will never lie to you. That's one thing about Hugh that I love. He is coming as a gentleman, as a scholar.
Hugh is an upstanding gentleman.
He knows, man. He knows what's up. Let's check it out.
In the current gaming landscape, 2025 has felt like a slow march for RPG fans waiting on a few big promises, chief among them, The Elder Scrolls 6. It's been more than a decade since Skyrim changed the genre forever, and players have been desperately looking for a spiritual successor that can scratch that same itch. Now, Bethesda has teased and teased, but without a firm release window, fans are hungry, and that's where Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon comes in. Now, this game didn't just drop out of nowhere. It has been simmering in early access for over 2 years, building a quiet but passionate community. And now that it's finally hit 1.0, it's clear this isn't just a filler RPG. This is a massive, grim, ambitious world that blends Arthurian myth with dark fantasy in open world exploration. It's
So the environments look good. The woman with the fishtail kind of mermaid thing, not so great, but the eyeball, the cyclopsy looking like, you know, tentacle thing looked cool. I dug that. Space Ginger says, just so you know, DG, I can't stop playing KCD2. That is so awesome. I'm so glad you won, Space Ginger. Space Ginger won our giveaway of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And, you know, this is another reason why Hugh is awesome. Hugh gave away 2 copies of it. He gave me one as well. And I'm well into about 20 hours of playing it. I really desperately need more time to play the game, and I'm having a wonderful time with the title as well, Hugh. So I would like to say thank you, Hugh. You are, in fact, a gentleman to do that. I love you, bro. He is awesome. I'm telling you right now, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It is so nice. Hugh is one of the nicest dudes in the world, and it's just an absolute pleasure to have him in the DG360 community. I love you, bro. I really do. Hugh says, this game is not one you buy for graphical fidelity. It has decent enough graphics, but the gameplay is where it's at, is what Hugh is saying.
Skyrim meets Dark Souls meets a twisted fairy tale. So let's dive deep into Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, its origins, its design, its reception, and whether or not it's the game fans of Elder Scrolls have been waiting for. Now, The Fall of Avalon didn't begin as a video game. The universe was first introduced through a popular board game called Tainted Grail, developed by Polish company Awaken Realms. The game combined survival, narrative storytelling, and a grim take on Arthurian legends, and quickly became a cult favorite. Seeing the potential in the world they created, Awaken Realms launched their game division, Awaken Realms Digital. Their first major digital title was Tainted Grail.
The combat very much looks like a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 combat style as well, which I'm totally addicted to. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
Conquest, a roguelike deck builder with RPG elements that released in 2021. While Conquest was well received, players clamored for something bigger, something more akin to what the board game hinted at. That demand set the stage for The Fall of Avalon, which...
And I gotta tell you, the Polish can make fucking video games. I mean, like, Cyberpunk, Dead Island, fucking Dying Light was good, Witcher 3. I mean, like the Polish can fucking make video games for real.
To translate the same grim atmosphere and rich lore into a full-scale open-world RPG. Instead of turn-based combat, the devs shifted to a real-time melee and magic layered with RPG progression, faction reputation, and choice-driven storytelling. It was a massive pivot and a risky one, but it seems to have paid off. What's notable is how the developers retain their narrative DNA. Questline, the primary dev team under Awaken Realms Digital, never let go of the dark mythos.
I mean, I love the vibes. I'm loving the vibes I'm seeing. The environments look fresh. I mean, like everything feels right. The combat looked really cool. Like really, man, like everything's kind of hitting the way I want it to. I think Hugh might be right on this one.
That made the original
There's
so
a dodge
compelling.
mechanic?
This
That's
continuity
awesome.
combined with a brand new gameplay structure makes Avalon feel both fresh and familiar. And this leads us naturally to the world itself, because Avalon isn't just a backdrop. It's a fully realized character in its own right. So welcome to Avalon, 600 years after the fall of King Arthur. This isn't a shining kingdom of chivalry. It's a place of rot, decay, and fractured power. The remnants of once great factions cling to power, while eldritch horrors seep into the land. Avalon is split into 3 major regions, each with distinct biomes, lore, and threats. The developers haven't just gone for size, they've focused on density. Every ruined castle, twisted forest, or sunken village has secrets waiting to be uncovered.
That's cool. I like when they take like too many open world games, they make the world so flat and shallow, right? Am I right about that? Lately, I feel like a lot of the open world solo play RPGs, they take the worlds and they make them so fucking big, right? It's all linear, right? Like you're going all around and you get, you know, like you can see all these environments, but there's like barely anywhere to go or anything that has any depth to it. So that's cool, man. I would actually like a smaller world with much more depth to it rather than having these super huge open worlds where there's barely anything to do other than to look at the environments. So like, I totally dig that they're putting depth into the game. That's cool. That's cool.
There are hidden dungeons, lore-rich collectibles, and even mini stories scattered across the world that build a larger picture of what happened after Arthur's death. Players start as a prisoner, a nod to Elder Scrolls for sure, but the path from there is wide open. You might align with powerful religious orders, outcast cults, or mercenary bands trying to carve out their piece of the land. The game encourages you to explore, not just for loot, but to understand the world. Environmental storytelling is everywhere. You might come
good. That's cool. I like that they involve like a lot of lore and storytelling because I definitely want to stay immersed in the game that I'm playing. Also, really good NPC dialogues and different types of trees, different branches from different decisions and different stories happening. So you have a lot of replayability is really important to me as well. Maddie says, I hate playing a game and then a massive map pops up. I get your vibe because that's like I'm saying, like a lot of these designed open worlds, they're so large but like so shallow in gameplay. So I get what you're saying. I don't mind if the maps are large as long as there's a lot to do in it. You know, like I like big worlds as long as there's a lot of gameplay in the big world. 9 out of 10, there's not. And that's where I'm coming from on that. And I get why when Maddie sees like a large map pop up, she's just like, oh, fuck this shit. Because a lot of game developers, that's what they do. Big, large, amazing worlds with little things to do. You know, like fetch quests, A to B. You got to go on this side of the map all the way to that other side of the map to deliver something. And then it's like, you know, Jesus.
Across a battlefield strewn with bones, and if you dig into a nearby journal, you realize it was the site of a long forgotten betrayal. These aren't just flavor, they tie back into faction wars, character arcs, and even endgame consequences. Now, exploration ties directly into gameplay as well. Hidden artifacts grant powerful upgrades, while certain areas are only accessible through clever navigations or late-game skills. This layered approach to world design gives Avalon the depth of the games like Witcher 3 and Skyrim, but with a grimmer tone. And what good is a world like this without engaging gameplay to match it? The Fall of Avalon offers players a flexible, classless system. You don't choose between fighter, rogue, or mage up front. Instead, you grow into your build.
I love that. I love that. That is the one thing that I think is like a drawback when, like, I'm old school. I love Dungeons and Dragons, but picking your class like that, it's like you're stuck in a role that maybe you want to evolve into something else, and then you have like a class change, right? to rectify the situation in Dungeons and Dragons, and then you got to kind of, you know, reskill and relearn. I like games where you can kind of grow into something naturally. It's like more organic. It's cool. I dig that they took that approach.
Want to wield two-handed swords and sling fireballs? Go for it. Want to become a stealthy prisoner who controls shadows? That's on the table too.
Cool.
Combat is weighty and deliberate,
KCD
not
too.
unlike Dark Souls, but with more traditional RPG
cool.
mechanics layered in. Weapons degrade, skills require resources, and magic is powerful but limited. There are dozens of spells, alchemical mixtures, and special techniques that unlock as you progress. Crafting is a major pillar. From armor upgrades to magical regions, the world rewards those who scavenge and experiment. Alchemy is especially deep, with recipes hidden in ancient texts and NPC stories. And let's talk quests. Side missions aren't filler, they're interconnected, often changing how the main story unfolds.
Love it. Love that. The world is reacting to your decisions. Love it. You know, personally, my bias is more towards PvP-oriented games. My bias is more towards sandbox MMO-style gaming. But I can sink myself into a solo play game, a single player, when the world reacts to the decisions that I make. That's why I love Kingdom Come, Deliverance franchise, and I think I love this. You know, like if that's the case, there's tons of replayability, changing the storyline based upon decisions that you hit. Like that, I dig it. I dig that. I'm glad. And then I can play the single play games. I like that with single play games.
Helping a cursed village early on might earn you an ally in a later siege. Or letting a rogue escape justice could lead to an ambush 10 hours later. The world reacts to your choices. And on top of that, there's also a major emphasis on reputation. Each region's factions remember your decisions. Aligning with one may lock you out of quests with another, or open up new routes. It's a system that invites replayability. So what do you do with all this freedom? That's where the story takes center stage. The narrative in The Fall of Avalon is one of its strongest assets. Gone are the binary good and evil choices. Instead, the game offers complex decisions with moral ambiguity. There are no perfect solutions, just different consequences.
Cool.
The main quest revolves around uncovering the mystery of what truly happened to King Arthur and why Avalon has become a land of madness. Along the way, you'll meet dozens of fully voiced NPCs with rich backstories and motivations. Many quests feel like short stories, complete with twists, betrayal, and surprise outcomes. And romance options are present, but they're subtle, woven into larger arcs rather than tacked on. Likewise, death matters. Key characters can die based on your choices, sometimes removing entire branches of content. And the best part? The story reacts all the way to the end. There are multiple endings based on your actions, some of which you might not even realize were influenced by earlier choices until it's too late. That complexity and payoff have been a huge part of the game's positive reception so far. Now, when the game first launched in early access, it had a solid but niche following. Players appreciated the ambition but flagged bugs, performance issues, and missing systems. Instead of rushing the release, the developers spent over 2 years taking feedback, overhauling mechanics, and expanding the world. Now, at version 1.0, it's sitting at a very positive rating on Steam, with 87% of overall reviews praising it. Recent reviews are even better, at 94% positive. That suggests that—
Dude, that's crazy, dudes. This was never even on my radar. I had no idea this game even existed. That's crazy.
the team has not only fulfilled their vision, but polished it to a shine. Content creators have also taken notice, with many comparing it favorably to Skyrim, Dragon's Dogma 2, and even Baldur's Gate 3. It's not a AAA production, but it doesn't need to be. What it offers is heart, depth, and a unique identity. And with mod support already hinted at by the devs, the community could keep Avalon alive long after release. So where does Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon go from here? If you're someone who loves dark storytelling, player choice, and atmospheric exploration, The Fall of Avalon is absolutely worth checking out. It's not just a stopgap until Elder Scrolls 6. In many ways, it's a more focused and narratively rich experience. With an estimated playtime of 40 to 70 hours, deep systems, and replayable content, this is a game that could dominate your RPG calendar for months, and it represents a growing trend, indie developers creating massive, meaningful open worlds that rival AAA giants. So my overall question to you is, are you enjoying the Fall of Avalon so far?
The name of the developer is Awaken Realms. I'm not quite sure if there's anything that I've played from them that I like. I don't think I've ever heard of the name of that developer, Awaken Realms. I'll type it in here. But it looks really good to me. And I gotta say, man, the Polish know how to make video games, man. They really do.